All right, so now S's. Definitely maybe tied with M's for the biggest letter I've got. Um, if not bigger than M's. I haven't counted, but we'll see. But we're going to start out right away with the S's. We've got Shane and Shane Vintage. Shane and Shane are a group from here, and really they're from Duncanville, and they play in Highland Village, I think. They are an acoustic worship group. Now, this has a little note on it, but I can't read it because it's like really white lyrics, or white writing with light gray text, and my vision's just not that great for that. Black vinyl, very simple. Anyway, Shane and Shane are an acoustic worship duo, and they do have a band that supports them. Met in College Station, but from up here, this particular album is a lot of like worship songs that kids who grew up in the 90s and sort of the non-denominational evangelical church background would definitely know. Let's see if I can read them, because again, white text, light gray writing. We've got Awesome God. We've got I Could Sing of Your Love Forever. We've got Draw Me Close. We've got Knowing You. We've got Ancient of Days. As the Deer. Sometimes by Step. In the Secret. Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. And Breathe. These are all songs that I definitely grew up listening to in church and that mean quite a bit to me. So I was really happy to get a copy of that. My favorite album by Shane and Shane is an album called Psalms, which I do not have on vinyl. But recently, they did this album, which is Psalms, Hymns, and Spiritual Songs. So this was sort of them writing new psalm-based songs, songs that are hymns, that kind of stuff. This is a gatefold double LP. The vinyl on this is, I believe it's colored. Yeah, it's this deep purplish red kind of color, with some smoke in the background of it. This is a great album, really. And again, so these are worship type songs. Psalm 42, Loudest Praise, is the first song I heard off of this, and that was all I needed to want to get this album, because I absolutely love that song. These are originals to them. So lots of great stuff on here. Highly recommend this if you haven't heard it. Very, very good. But I mean, that has to be your vibe, right? So next we're going to go into Ed Sheeran. I am a big Ed Sheeran fan. I like him quite a bit. I got into him during the next album, which I'm going to show you, but then I went back and picked up Plus. Plus has the A-Team. It has, let's see here, Lego House, You Need Me, I Don't Need You. Lots of good songs on here. I didn't realize that I hadn't put this in quite right. And then it's got sort of a translucent orange to go with the orange cover. If you haven't heard Ed Sheeran, well, first of all, I'm sure you have. I don't know anyone who hasn't heard Ed Sheeran. Whether you wanted to or not, he's one of those people whose music is sort of everywhere. But especially in the earlier days, it's really him, an acoustic and a looping pedal, and just really talented musician. So then after that, we've got, so that was Plus. After that, we have Multiply. This is the album that I came into him and started listening to him. This has Photograph. This has Thinking Out Loud. Those are the big two hits on this. But it's really a fantastic album. Double LP, gatefold. This one, black vinyl. Why is this in there like that? All right, pausing. Okay, I realized I put a record away incorrectly in that case. It didn't put it in the little sleeve. Actually put it in the case for the album, if that makes sense. But anyway. Ed Sheeran Divide. That's the next one. So Castle on a Hill, Shape of You, Perfect. Perfect is a perfect song. I really love that song. And Castle on a Hill, also one of my absolute favorite songs that he's ever done. Really, really good. I do also like Shape of You. It took a little getting used to, I think, but I do like it. This one, I think, also just black vinyl. Let's see. Yeah, black vinyl. Double LP, gatefold. But I do really love the cover of that one a lot. That's my favorite cover, I think. Next one, and I have to say, I haven't listened to this one as much as I'd like to. I think it needs more time for me. This is Equals. My mom bought me a copy of this, and she bought herself a copy, which is really nice. We both are big fans. I think this is the Target exclusive edition, red vinyl. And this one comes, so kind of some of the bigger songs on this are, let's see here. I know I heard Shivers quite a bit. Bad Habits definitely was a big hit. The Joker and the Queen with Taylor Swift on there. Collide. Love in Slow Motion. Yeah, I've actually heard quite a bit of this, but I need to listen to it more. I didn't give this one as much time as I gave the other ones. And then a recent purchase, which I talked about in my birthday haul video. This was my mom's birthday gift to me. Continuing the Ed Sheeran love. This is Ed Sheeran Subtract. This one is pretty new. And this is an album about grief a lot. And I highly recommend Boat, Vega. Those are a couple of the songs that I really love the most. Highly recommend this one. This one is the Target exclusive again, which is on the translucent sort of yellow vinyl, which really goes with the album. And so I have all of the Ed Sheeran, Mathematics albums that he's touring on right now. And I'm so glad that I do. Get in there. I made it. All right. All right. So, next in the S's, we go into The Ultimate Sinatra, another album I picked up at Target. Double LP gatefold. This is on kind of a bright blue vinyl. I love Sinatra. I fell in love with Sinatra's music working at Starbucks for a long time. This album has a lot of hits. All or Nothing at All, I'll Never Smile Again, Saturday Night, The Loneliest Night of the Week, Nancy with the Laughing Face, I've Got the World on a String, Young at Heart, In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning, Learning the Blues, Love and Marriage, I've Got You Under My Skin, Witchcraft, All the Way, Come Fly With Me, One for My Baby and One More for the Road, The Way You Look Tonight, My Kind of Town, Fly Me to the Moon, in other words, It Was a Very Good Year, Strangers in the Night, Summer Wind, That's Life, My Way, Theme from New York, New York, and Put Your Dreams Away. I don't normally read all the tracks for you, but this is one of those that, like, every track is a banger, and I'm super, super pleased to have this album. Will I go back and get individual albums by him? I don't know, but I'm super glad to have that one. Next, on a totally different vibe, the Skints. Oh, man, if you have never listened to the Skints, you need to listen to the Skints immediately. This album is called Swimming Lessons. They are a mix of like reggae, dub, hip-hop, alternative, just so good. Multiple vocalists, including this phenomenal female vocalist, Marsha, who can just do everything, I feel like. And really, I love all their tracks, but the ones she leads are my favorite. I ordered this from their website, so it shipped from England. It's got this kind of lighter blue, which is beautiful. You have to excuse my dog. You can kind of hear her out there. She's Miss Feisty Pants. Liner notes and a picture of the swimming pool. There is a really phenomenal live album that the Skins put out during COVID. I think it's only streaming, but I highly recommend you check that out. So this has Learning to Swim. It has The Island. It has La La La. It has Love is the Devil. Stop Looking Back. So many good tracks. Highly recommend you check them out. Next is Simon and Garfunkel. The Concert in Central Park. Got this one at Half Price Books for $3.98, which is insane. Whoever had it has it in some nice sleeves. I definitely grew up hearing this album a lot. This is kind of like the Eagles. The two things I remember like constantly hearing in my home were the Eagles and Simon and Garfunkel. So this has Mrs. Robinson and Homeward Bound and America, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. It's got Scarborough Fair. And that's literally, I'm not even naming all the tracks on side one of the first album, and this is a double LP. So It is a gatefold as well. This is one of those albums I bought for my mom like a bunch of times as like a gift. Music has always been something I bought my mom. So back when cassettes were the things, I bought her a cassette of it. And then we got CDs, and we were doing Columbia House and BMG, and I bought her a copy of it. And, now I think she has it on vinyl, and I can't remember if I bought it or not, but it's that good of an album. All right, next, pretty recent album for us, in the last few months maybe, definitely in the last year. Nina Simone, Feeling Good, her greatest hits. This was a Target exclusive. Again, Feeling Good, I Put a Spell on You. Ne Me Quitte Pas, pardon my poor French if that's not how you pronounce it. Don't Explain, Mississippi Goddamn, Strange Fruit. Phenomenal. It's red. It looks orange in the video, but that's definitely more of like a red that kind of matches the cover. Nina, you can't go wrong with Nina Simone. Absolutely beautiful, super essential artist. Love having a greatest hits of her. Next is Simple Creatures, Everything Opposite. If you're not familiar with Simple Creatures, this is a side band of Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna know his name, but he's the guy from All Time Low. I feel bad that I don't know his name off the top of my head. I wasn't an All Time Low fan really growing up, although I do like their music, but I was a big Blink fan. This is so good. It's got like a lot of like electronic elements, along with some like pop punk and alternative, but it's a great vibe. This track, this album has special. Thanks, I Hate It. Thanks, I Hate It gets stuck in my head all the time. It's such a good song. And they have really fun videos. This one's just on black vinyl. But yeah, so highly recommend Simple Creatures. This one I think was actually the second one of those to come out. The first one I think was Strange Love, which I also have. This one, these are just EPs, so they only have like 5-6 songs on them. But Drug, Strange Love, Ether, Lucy, Adrenaline. On this one. This one's on white vinyl. And same vibe. Again, definitely check out their music videos. Drug, I think, was the first single that came out. So, in fact, I'm going to rearrange those because I like my music by my bands in chronological order. All right, another really recent grab for me is Sixpence None the Richer. This album is called... What is it? Oh, This Beautiful Mess. That's right. I could not remember the name of it. I used to listen to this album a lot at nighttime, like kind of a good wind down album in my mind. This is a double LP gatefold. This one is another one from Lost in Ohio Music. They put out that Morella's Forest album I talked about before. Some good throwback stuff for people who grew up in the scene that I did. We've got an insert that's got some great notes about kind of everything that's going on. This one's got lyrics, actually. And then we've got the vinyl, which is this really beautiful red vinyl. If you're not familiar with Sixpence None the Richer, you probably are and you don't realize you are. They're the ones that did that huge single, Kiss Me, that was in like a bunch of movies and stuff like that. That album is the album after this. This is the album before that. And then Lee Nash went on to do some solo stuff for sure. Next, we have Skank and Pickle. Sing Along with Skank and Pickle. An essential ska album, one that I ordered directly from Asian Man Records. And again, Mike Park came through with some great care for the record. Helps that this is one of his bands. Really beautiful. It's really hard to see. It's like a light green that matches the cover. Half light green, half like cream colored. So definitely a good one there. So this is a ska band, straight up 90s ska. Really talented group. And again, if you're into ska, this is one of those albums that like everybody should probably have. So yeah, Skank and Pickle. Trying to go quick because I have so many albums to do. So here we've got the Slackers, another phenomenal ska band. Saw them live with We Are the Union and Kill Lincoln, literally 1 year and 1 day ago today. And they were amazing. This is live at Ernesto's. This has a lot of big tracks on it. Sooner or Later, Married Girl, I Still Love You, Work Song, the Fried Chicken song. Yeah, just great stuff. kind of a smoky white gray color, or white marble is probably what it's called. It's funny, everything's either smoky or marble, but anyway, great album. I ordered that one off of their, I think, Bandcamp. No, they sell theirs off of their Discogs, I think. And then this is the album they were touring when I saw them. It was a brand new album. Don't Let the Sunlight Fool Ya. First new album in 7 years, and gosh, it was a good album. And that title track, Don't Let the Sunlight Fool Ya, is fantastic. I Almost Lost You, Shame Boy. Yeah, really, really good album. This one also came with a like a plexi, and I think I gave the plexi away to one of my assistant principals at one of the schools that I worked at because he also collected vinyl. This has a booklet, which is fantastic. I'm not going to try and open it up for the sake of time. And it got pressed on this really kind of peachy orange, sunset orange color, which really matches the cover quite well. Highly recommend this album if you haven't heard it. And if you don't know the Slackers, you need to know the Slackers. Even if you're not if you hear the word ska and you think of like bands like Real Big Fish and like that's a turnoff to you, that's not what this is. And I highly recommend that you check out this kind of ska, because this is the ska that I think really crosses the barriers for most people. Like, most people can listen to this and be like, okay, yeah, I dig this, whatever this is. Well, it's ska. Ska's got, a very diverse array of sounds. So, all right, I'm going to pause for a second. All right, continuing right along. We had the Slackers. Now we've got Slick Shoes. Slick Shoes, pop punk band, skate punk band that came into the light, in the 90s Christian rock scene, named based on the Goonies. This was their first album in a long time, came out during COVID. It's called Rotation and Frequency. This album was put together by, I believe, I'm just trying to double check. I don't see their logo, but I think that Unoriginal Vinyl did this album. Pretty sure. So this might have been before they were really putting their logo on the albums. But look at that beautiful pressing, man. Just stunning. Right? So this is a punk album. It's a great punk album, and I'm very, very glad to have this punk album. Slick Shoes is a band I definitely listened to a lot in the 90s. They weren't, my favorite, but they were kind of up in that like top tier of like great bands, and I've seen them live a few times. Really great live, still great live. Saw them in like 2017 or something like that. Whispers on here, Keep It Secret, Keep It Safe, Visitors, great tracks on here, man. Next is Stavesacre. Okay, so this is an album that is kind of how I built a relationship with the guys from Unoriginal Vinyl. So this, Tim West, if you don't know Tim West is a great dude. Tim West kind of helped me to find a way to get a copy of this album. It had already been out. I missed it completely, but I was a big Stavesacre fan, and he really worked to help me find a way to get a copy of this for me. I don't know how to describe Stavesacre, and everyone I know is like, where do you put Stavesacre genre-wise? I mean, I guess like alternative. I don't know what else to call them, but this album is a very kind of like worshipful album in a lot of ways. They're a Christian rock band, but they're also just a great band. And sometimes it's difficult calling someone a Christian rock band because they could really get pigeonholed, but this is a band that you would like if you like good music. Although I know that's subjective. This one has on it, Minuteman is a fantastic track. Keep Waiting, fantastic track. Gold and Silver, amazing track. They have a cover of Fascination Street on here, which is amazing. There's some bonus tracks on this. There's a double LP, absolutely beautiful packaging, gatefold, black sleeves, gold, and what color do you think that second LP is going to be? Right? It's well, there's only one thing it can be, right? only one thing it can be. Gold and silver to match the title of the track. So, just a remarkable... This was one of the first times I saw, again, an unoriginal vinyl product, and I was just like, man, that's so beautiful. So I didn't hesitate when they put out some more Stavesacre to pick it up. So, How to Live with a Curse. These are Stavesacre albums I wasn't as familiar with. You know, I've said before, I have a little bit of musical ADHD. I get a little distracted. So I didn't really listen to this album a ton. But I was so pleased to pick it up and listen to it, and it is so good. This beautiful sort of orange translucent vinyl, and the second disc, clear. Yeah, beautiful packaging as always. This one, not a gatefold, but that made it a little bit more financially feasible, I think, for people, because, you know, one of the things is these albums will come out, you find out about an album like right as it's coming out, and you want it, but you can't necessarily drop the coin right at that moment, and especially when they're done so well. All right, we're gonna pause. Okay, not a surprise. I had a little bit of a hard time getting that in. Anyway, just gorgeous, and the way that they packaged these made them stay affordable, even though they were just beautifully done. So this one here, MCMXCV, Roman numerals. I forget exactly what that equals out to. What is that? 1995. That's what it is. Took me a second. Had to think about it. Beautiful cover. Again, just a slipcase there. This gorgeous artwork. Some, you know, lyrics and stuff on it. It's a single LP. No, it's double LP. What am I talking about? Kind of a smoky white, and then to go with that, we got a little bit of an orange fire and smoke. A little bit there. Just stunning artwork. Those guys at Unoriginal Vinyl, I cannot speak highly enough about the stuff that they put out. It is the highest quality, the highest caliber. Highly recommend it. All right, next up, Sufjan Stevens, Michigan. Greetings from Michigan, the Great Lakes state. You know, there was a rumor at one point that Sufjan Stevens was going to do an album for all 50 states. He had done Michigan already. Illinois was starting to tear up the charts. And we were all like here for it. Those are the only two states he really did. But he has done a ton of phenomenal music. I love Sufjan Stevens. He's one of those that I wish I had more of his music in my catalog as far as vinyl goes. But I'm so pleased with what I do have. Double LP, black vinyl. On the Michigan album, and you know, I didn't get into tracks for some of the others. I don't know the Michigan album quite as well as I do Illinois, so it's easy for me to jump into Illinois. Illinois, this is one of the first albums I ever bought. This is a long time ago. I was so glad to get a copy of this. Come on, Phil, to Illinois. This is a triple fold out, which was, you know, I was like, whoa, crazy. They can do that? This one, I think it's also black vinyl, so I really don't want to try and take these all out. Yeah, all black vinyl. There's some liner notes in there. This one, you know, my favorite track on here is John Wayne Gacy Jr., which, you know, is named after a serial killer, but it's so good. But you've got Casimir Pulaski Day on here. You've got certainly the most well-known track on this album is Chicago. And I'm trying to see here. Yeah, it's interesting. Because I don't necessarily see a track, if I'm remembering correctly. I was like, I don't necessarily see a track that's just called Chicago. If you don't know Sufjan, his album tracks are so, like, the titles are so long. So the song that has Chicago in the name of it is Go Chicago Go Yeah, and I'm like, is that the same track? I need to go back and listen through this. It's been quite a while, but I do love this album. Now, there is another version of this cover in which Superman is flying on the cover, but my understanding is that particular one violated some copyrights and they had to change it. But I'm very pleased with what I've got here. Definitely a great album. So this is a 2005 pressing of the album as well. So, okay, next up, we've got the Swell Season. Okay, now I'm a huge Glenn Hansard fan. I've talked about him already. And the Swell Season is Glenn and Marketa Irglova. They together were starred in the movie once, won an Academy Award for Best Original Song. I saw them live in concert. I need to get more of the Swell Season albums for sure. They are actually making new music together right now, which is some of the most exciting news I've heard in a long time. This particular album, the Swell Season, is called Strict Joy. And this has Low Rising on it, which is a fantastic album. In These Arms, fantastic track. In These Arms is a fantastic track. I Have Loved You Wrong. Oh man, such a good album. Highly recommend it. Double LP black vinyl. Gatefold. I don't think I showed the packaging very well. Gatefold. Yeah. If you get a chance to see them live, do it. So, all right, now we're going to get into the Taylor Swift section, right? Everybody's got a Taylor Swift section. I do love Taylor Swift. I will tell you, currently, I do not own her first album on vinyl. I never have owned that one on vinyl, and I'm not going to buy an older copy. I'm going to wait for Taylor's version of it. And then we'll talk about the rest as we go. So we get into the second album, Fearless. I've got Taylor's version. I bought Fearless Taylor's version off of her web store. It's a triple gatefold there. Fantastic album. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time really talking about necessarily all of Taylor's albums, because everyone's pretty familiar with Taylor Swift, right? I mean, especially on YouTube and TikTok. It feels like 90% of the videos I see on YouTube and TikTok are like Taylor Swift vinyl videos. But when it comes to Fearless, Love Story, 15, You Belong With Me, Forever and Always, The Best Day. I really love The Best Day. And I really love Your Story. Today Was a Fairy Tale, Taylor's version. One of the best things about the Taylor's version albums is the guest spots. So this one has Maren Morris on it and Keith Urban. And I love Maren Morris and I love Keith Urban. So really can't complain about that. And there's an Elvira remix of one of the tracks. So yeah, great album. So then I've got Red, Taylor's version. Again, I ordered this off the web store. It's a gatefold, but it's a quad LP. Lots going on here. Let's see. Can't remember what color mine is or if they're all the same or whatever. It makes sense that it would be red. I think I ordered this off the web store. This one I might have gotten from Target. I can't remember for sure. Most of them I have gotten off of the web store. Because as soon as she announces them, I order them. So when we come to Red, we've got, of course, I Knew You Were Trouble, All Too Well. We're Never Ever Getting Back Together. So we've got The Last Time featuring Gary Lightbody, right? Which Gary Lightbody from Snow Patrol. I'm definitely a Snow Patrol fan. We've got Everything Has Changed with Ed Sheeran. We've already talked about how I'm an Ed Sheeran fan. We've got some acoustic versions a little further down. We've got Phoebe Bridgers on Nothing New. I didn't know who Phoebe Bridgers was at this point. We've got Chris Stapleton on a track. We've got another Ed Sheeran track down here with Run. And the 10-minute version of All Too Well. So, yeah, can't go wrong with that, right? Now, my all-time favorite Taylor Swift album, and one that she has not done a Taylor's version of yet. By the way, I know I didn't talk about Speak Now either. I've got Taylor's version of Speak Now coming. I haven't owned it on vinyl. I'm waiting for Taylor's version. 1989, my favorite album by her. Now, here's what I've done. The albums that I have owned, like Red and like Fearless, when I've gotten a new copy, or when I've gotten the Taylor's version in, I've given my mom the other copy, so she gets to enjoy that. But 1989, Gatefold, double LP, my favorite album by her. I'm pretty sure mine's just black vinyl. I am looking forward to the Taylor's version of this. because this is my favorite album. Every track on here is so good. Welcome to New York, Out of the Woods, All You Had to Do Was Stay, Shake It Off. A lot of special memories for Shake It Off with my baby boy. This album originally came out in 2014. My son was born in 2013, and a lot of videos of him as a baby dancing to Shake It Off. So he would not like that being public, but whatever. I love this album, and I can't wait for a Taylor's version of it. All right, next, Lover. Everybody's got the same version of Lover, right? I've never seen anyone really have a different version. Double LP, gatefold. I think it's just double LP. It's the pink and blue. I'm not even going to pull it out. It's the pink and blue. Everyone knows what it looks like, right? Next, we've got Folklore. Folklore, gatefold. I don't remember the names of all the different versions of these. I know this was my favorite cover, so this is the one I went with. I also know that I really liked the color of the vinyl on this, and I didn't have anything quite like it. This sort of... Oh, that does not look like what it is. It's a green. It's a green. It looks gray here and blue if I bring it up close, but it's a green. But it's a really beautiful kind of mossy green. I wonder if it says... I haven't really looked at this. I wonder if it says on here... which version I got. I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But this is my second favorite Taylor Swift album. Cardigan is an absolute... That's one of my favorite songs by her. Mirror Ball's fantastic. This is me trying. Yeah. Fantastic album. Then Evermore. I think she did this all in kind of one color, right? Unless you got like the Target version. I got mine off of the web store. I was like, you're killing me, Taylor, by putting out more albums. One right after the other, especially financially, especially during COVID. A darker green on this one. And almost done. We're getting close here. We have one more album, which is Taylor Swift Midnights. This is the cover that I liked the best. Again, I don't remember all the different names or whatever, but on the top left of the clock, it's a gatefold. And really loved the color on this one again. My favorite color is actually like a blue. And so I did really like the blue color that came with it. You got the booklet and everything here. I did really like the original color, like, because this was, supposed to be like, oh, these are going to be really hard to find colors. But this is, again, it's more of a green. It's coming up blue here, almost like a tealish, but really beautiful, smoky kind of green. And love this album too. Didn't have a track listing there because it's got this, artwork, whatever, for the clock. Let's see here. So I can tell you what my favorite tracks are on this one. And sorry about all the, if you're hearing the doors close a lot. Snow on the Beach. Antihero, definitely a great one. Antihero is a great lead single. Smoke on the Beach, You're on Your Own, Kid. I really love who she pulls in to do some of these tracks with her too. So, Sweet Nothing, Mastermind. Yeah. So I'm going to say honestly that Taylor Swift, I was aware of The National, but Taylor Swift working with Aaron really introduced me more to The National, and now The National's new album is one of my favorite for this year. So really appreciate that. So right now I have Taylor Swift's Speak Now Taylor's version on pre-order. So that's one, and I'll talk more about my pre-orders in another video, but that's the S's. It's a lot, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm not going to do any more videos today, but tomorrow or maybe a couple days from now, I'll do T and U. So come back and keep checking out the vinyl collection.